Good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late there, but good evening to everybody. How is everyone? We have a lot of people in the chat, so hopefully everybody's doing pretty good today. It is Friday. I keep thinking it's Saturday. I think it's because Vincent was home from work today. Well, he worked from home, so when that happens, I'm a day off. So I've been a day off anyway this week. So I was reading through your chats. I was like really getting into it a minute ago. I was like, look at all this. What's going on in the world of YouTube? There's been a lot of chitter chatter today on YouTube. I feel like I haven't even seen anything to do with the Murdaugh trial today. I couldn't tell you anything about it. It's that bad. Like I had a whole different live scheduled. We were going to do some, it's still Idaho 4, but it was just different content. And then other things came about. So that stuff kind of got pushed to the side, and we're going to talk about the new stuff a little bit more. So, but if you guys are just joining us, if you could just please hit the like button. It does help the channel grow. It sends it into the algorithm. That way more people can come in and enjoy it. And that's really fun, to have some people in the chat. Also, if you want to become a member, I will post that into the chat box right now. So we would love to have you if you'd love to become a member. It's a great way to, help the creator, support the content, all that good jazz. So this is in my way a little bit. But last but not least, thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you to my mods for being here. You guys are awesome. Everybody in the chat, you guys are all the bee's knees. I don't know who's outside the chat because, I can't see you, but I bet you guys are too. So if you want to come in and chat with us, we'd love to have you. I do keep it on subscriber only mode in the chat just because it used to be just me and there was no mods, but it does help combat bots, people just flying into the chat saying ridiculous things. So it just helps with that because they have one more barrier they got to go through. So how is everybody doing? Someone had a fake obituary. Who did that? Oh, I don't know. You got notified? Cat's Life? Well, good. Well, maybe I need to come live more often. You have a bad back? Is that what it is? Oh, no. I went to the chiropractor today for the first time since September. I was like, oh, it's been that long? But he said I was actually a lot better than he thought I would be. And I saw that Princess Mega Elsa was in here. It's good to see you. Summer, good to see you. When I put these earrings on today, I put these earrings in. Here, move this side. And I thought of you. I don't know why, but I did. I was like, this looks like something that Summer would wear. They're little, like leather earrings. I don't know, feather earrings. But they reminded me of you. So when I didn't first see you in the chat, I was like, oh, I put these earrings in. She better be here. Just kidding. But I did put them in and I thought of you. I was like, oh, she would like these. But you can't even see them because my hair's in the way. So even if my hair's out of the way, my hair is like the same color as the earrings. So that didn't really work out for me, did it? So the new documents. Okay. So I'm going to have to read over those new documents, but I'm going to put them up on the screen tonight. Eventually I'm going to wait and do those towards the end. It's basically like in response to what the Gonzalez's were coming out, like when they were, when they were coming out wanting the gag order released, lifted or whatever. So it's kind of basically, it's a response to them and then they responded back again. So I got through the first two and my dogs wouldn't let me get through the third one. I have actually right here. So what I'm going to do is see if, by the time we're done, we might just read through it with the other ones. And then, yeah, because the first two didn't really say much. The first one is just about who it is, it's the prosecutor that's, putting this forth. And then the second one is just basically just a state interest relating to the order. And then all of these extra pages are different cases that they're referring to. So these were just kind of like some extra pages I didn't need in my life. So now I got to recycle those. But I keep everything, but I do need to recycle. I thought I was going to need to print these out because I like to print and I like to highlight things. So that way, if I need to come on here, I can just give you guys like the bullet points in a way, like the cliff notes. Cause some of that stuff, I don't know if you ever heard me read through some of these documents, but it's kind of pretty, it's pretty funny. I don't know. I'm hilarious at things when I read through them, but I will get to the documents though, for sure. Yeah, the gag order. Yeah, I don't think the gag order would be lifted for them. But I did see though in there that they even specified like they referenced a certain event where the news were like Mr. Gonzalez had said something on the news. And so I saw that in there and I was just like, whoa. So, but the other night we talked about this, but there's more to it now. So let me show you the first thing I wanted to show you. It's so funny when things get on here and it's ass backwards. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, let me see. I'm just going to put it on. Okay, I'm going to share this, and this isn't what I'm sharing, but this is the one I want to share. Okay, so the other night, let me see when this was out. 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, we watched this about Bryan Kohberger reportedly being fired as a teaching assistant, and we were wondering who her news sources were, but I played the clip and we talked about it and stuff like that. So I want to play this clip for you guys again, because apparently I think Ashley got a little upset that people maybe were on Twitter and other places saying that she didn't have credible source, like who's the source, because I've seen a lot of that. So she came out and she did another News Nation segment about the termination letter. And Jennifer Coffindaffer was actually on there with her. And so I have something to show you before we watch that one too, because it's just funny. I don't know. It'll be funny when you see it. It's not funny, but it is. The things that people say, and then they think that people don't see it when they get on national television. I don't know. So the first video that I'm going to show you is actually the one from a couple days ago, but I want you guys to see this video, and just in case you guys didn't get to see it. And it's the first one that Banfield did on Bryan Kohberger reportedly being fired as a teaching assistant. So, and then, because I do have another video. I mean, y'all, I've got so much stuff to show you guys tonight. Like, you guys are going to be laughing, crying, all at the same time. We've got just so much to cover. So stick with me.
It's important because in the Idaho murder case, there's been a lot of focus on the chief defendant in the case, Bryan Kohberger. And now we are learning a few things were happening in that man's life leading up to and right after the murders. Things like being investigated by his own school, Washington State University, where he was working as a teaching assistant. And apparently the investigation wasn't going well. He was warned time after time after time to cut back on the bad behavior. We're told behavioral problems specifically. But time after time after time, he didn't. He got more feisty and belligerent, even arguing with his professors, until they finally decided, you're fired. That's right. Bryan Kohberger was fired as a teaching assistant from Washington State University. I have the actual specifics of this, and I wanted to sort of go through what we have come to learn was the sort of timeline of his warnings and all of the things that were listed on a termination letter that Kohberger himself was given right before they cut the cord with him. So I'm going to just watch some of these so I don't get them wrong. But the highlights, or lowlights, I guess you might call them, was that he had a sexist attitude towards females that he interacted with at the school, that he was rude to the women. And then get this, as a teaching assistant, he apparently graded the women differently than he graded the men. Here is the alleged language that was included in his termination letter along with the timeline, starting on September 23rd. And by our math, that's about 1 month into his brand new job as a teaching assistant in his doctoral program, which may or may not have been tied to his teaching job. September 23rd, Kohberger apparently has an altercation with one of the professors named Dr. Snyder. Just 10 days later, on October 3rd, the letter outlines that they had met to, quote, discuss the norms of professional behavior. And then 18 days after that, on October the 21st, Dr. Snyder emails Bryan Kohberger to say that he has, quote, failed to meet the expectations that were outlined in the discussions they'd had before. 12 days after that, on November the 2nd, they met again to discuss what they called an improvement plan. And then on December the 7th, that's about, well, let's cut to actually 12 days later, 11 days later, the murders actually happened. So they have the meeting to discuss the improvement plan. And 11 days later, on November 13th, the murders are carried out. Then cut forward to 24 days beyond, and that's December 7th. That's when there was another meeting with the professors. And this was supposed to be about the progress of the, quote, improvement plan. Apparently it didn't go too well because 2 days later, on December 9th, he had another altercation with Dr. Snyder. And here's the quote, in which it became apparent that you had not made progress regarding professionalism. 10 days after that, December 19th, Bryan Kohberger is officially terminated by Washington State University. And some are reporting that he was withdrawn from the data system 3 days later on December the 22nd. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your...
Okay, so I just wanted you guys to hear that to get a basis, because there was no source cited, right? Which, potato. I love my Ashley Banfield. I'm not saying nothing about my Ashley Banfield. I love her, but I wish she could have cited a source or said something about it, because then I'm on Twitter today. I had seen, and I'll show you this. I saw this video, and it says Bryan Kohberger's termination letter from WSU, and it's Banfield. And I read this Twitter first before I saw the episode. So I like Jennifer Coffindaffer. I mean, I don't have nothing against her. I've seen her on other channels, and I've seen her do things for a lot of missing kids and stuff. She uses her platform for a lot of different cases. She really does. But she posted this on a tweet today. And this was before this was after that episode that I just showed you. So that was after the no source came out with the Bryan Kohberger being fired, right? And Twitter's in an uproar. They want a source. We're coming for blood. It's Twitter. So if you don't have Twitter, make sure you're over there following me because it's crazy over there. But it says up here, tonight at Banfield. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me share the tab with you. That might help. Let me see how close this is for you guys to see. Not that close, but I could probably click on it. Nope. Okay, let me see if I can open up my MacBook and zoom in there a little for you there. Don't want to hurt anybody's eyes, which, speaking of eyes, I've got to get some glasses. We're going to do a try on one day on one of our lives. So you guys can help me pick. Okay. Trying to get it one more, but I don't think I can. Okay, just take my word for it that this is what it says. If you can't read it, I'll try to highlight it. But it says tonight. I think that might actually make it worse highlighting it. But it says tonight at Banfield on News Nation, we'll be speaking about the alleged firing of at hashtag Bryan Kohberger. I'll be joining. I know several sleuths whom I've grown to respect have concerns. The fact is, the claim is not a subjective claim, meaning it's either backed by a fact or it isn't. Stay tuned. Pretty much telling us, and she did tell us in another tweet, that she is going to make sure that she gets this credible, like that she gets a source. Like she's going to straight up ask Ashley Banfield when she sees her on this live, that this live happened last night, that she was going to need proof of that letter. So I'm going to show you this episode, and then we'll go back, because it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like she didn't do any of that. She got on here and acted like she was reading off the same paper Ashley Banfield had. I don't know. It was just like, and I like Ashley Banfield. You all know I do. I got her an emoji. I mean, I love me some Ashley Banfield. But, and I don't really know Jennifer Coffindaffer, but if you're going to put something, I'm old school. Okay, so I'm really old school. My mom said I should have been in the 50s. Like I should have been raising babies in the 50s or something. Because I have a thing, when you say something, you do it. You mean you do it. Like that point blank period. Not, yeah, I'm going to say it and then not do it. I don't know. I just don't, you know what I mean? No. So with that being said, I mean, you know, I was expecting some big reveal for her. So we're going to watch we'll watch this one and then we'll discuss it.
So if Bryan Kohberger had a propensity for bloody up close murder, and that has not yet been proved, he still may have needed like a trigger, something to set him off, like maybe a personal crisis, maybe a loss, something that might have made him lash out. Maybe like losing a job, like losing his job as a teaching assistant at Washington State University. And then with that, losing your funding for the doctoral studies program you're in the school, because it appears right now that that's what happened. We now have sources with direct knowledge of the termination letter that was sent to Bryan Kohberger. And tonight I want to read the letter to you in full. The letter is dated December the 19th, 2022. It starts this way. Mr. Kohberger, I am writing this letter to formally inform you of the termination of your teaching assistantship with the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology effective December 31st, 2022. In keeping with the WSU Graduate Student Handbook, chapters 9G2, remember that, and 12E3, remember that, below is the list of events that led to you being deficient on the following contingency clause of your funding. Quote, maintaining satisfactory progress in fulfilling assistantship service requirements and duties. On September 23rd, 2022, you had an altercation with the faculty you support as a TA, Professor Snyder. I met with you on October 3rd to discuss norms of professional behavior. On October 21st, Professor Snyder emailed you about the ways in which you had failed to meet your expectations as a TA thus far in the semester. As a result, on November 2, Graduate Director Willits and I met with you to discuss an improvement plan, which you agreed to, and I shared with you in an email dated November 3rd. We met again December 7th, this time with a Professor Snyder, as well as Dr. Willits and I, to discuss your progress on the improvement plan. While not perfect, we agreed there was progress. On December 9th, there was another altercation with Professor Snyder, in which it became apparent that you had not made progress regarding professionalism, and about which I wrote to you on December 11th, requesting a meeting. We met on December 19th, when I informed you of your termination as a TA for spring semester. So there's that. And we dug into the WSU Undergraduate Student Handbook, and we learned something, that those two chapters, 9G2 to start with, that is the protocol for termination mid-semester or before the end of a period stipulated in a current offer letter. And that other one, 12E3, covers graduate and professional student complaint and grievance procedures. All very interesting. Joining me now Jennifer Coffendorfer. She's a former FBI special agent. She's been following this case since the beginning. Jennifer, I'm so fascinated by the dating on this. Now, we don't know who the author of the letter is. We heard certain names that were quoted in that letter. We don't know.
Okay, so she right there, because I needed Jennifer to stand up for us web sleuths last night, and she didn't do it. So I'm just a little sad. That's all, but I still like her. But I was just really sad because she told us, she said that she has, I'm going to read it again. Tonight on Banfield, she will be speaking about the alleged firing of Bryan Kohberger. I'll be joining. I know several sleuths whom I've grown to respect have concerns. And she pretty much says the fact is the claim is not a subjective claim, meaning it's either backed by a fact or it isn't. Stay tuned. So, she was going to give us proof of this letter and stuff. That's what I was just I'm just a little sad about that because this is what she says.
Who wrote the letter? It just refers to as I. But the dates on it are, significant because we knew that he knew he had a meeting coming up on January 19th. He could have been doing that by Zoom as he was crossing the country. But it almost sounded like he didn't see this coming. He didn't see the firing coming.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, certainly by these dates, though, he knows there is something going awry with his position and would certainly be concerned if these allegations are true. And I agree with you that this would be something that could trigger. It would not answer why he did this, but it would explain why he chose the time to do this. Losing a job, potentially losing your income, the embarrassment of losing your position, maybe even having your dream of being a PhD in jeopardy. These would all be triggering factors to propel you into doing something this heinous, combined with his true reasoning from deep inside himself.
So what's extraordinary is the screenshot that you have come across from a source, a student of Bryan Kohberger's. It's a screenshot of correspondence that she had with him, and specifically a statement that he wrote to her. And here it is. I'm putting it up on the screen. This is Jennifer's reporting. She said, this student is written to. Kohberger says on December 16th, I'm glad that this course has given you a more nuanced perspective pertaining to CJ, as criminal justice. Have a great break. Again, this is December 16th. He's going to be canned 3 days later. He's in the process, of being canned. But it truly does seem that he's, carrying on the work of being a TA, even as he's left. He's already in Pennsylvania by this point. I guess he's working from home at mom and dad's house.
Yes, it would seem so. And, typically someone with a narcissistic personality doesn't really see anything wrong with what they're doing and doesn't really comprehend sometimes the negative impact of their actions and behaviors. And they carry on as normal until, as in this case, if true, he was indeed fired.
So can I ask you, and I don't know if you're able to say, because we do keep sources close to the vest, that student he was corresponding with, was it a male or a female student?
Female.
Interesting, because if we can put that back up, there's a score that's written in the top right-hand corner of the email, and I think it was like 125 out of 125. We can't see it on that version of it, but was that the accurate score? They got a perfect score, this female, because we've heard he's been grading female candidates, students a lot lower.
That's certainly what this intimated. I cut it down just to keep her identity not revealed.
Sure.
But that's what it looked like, 125 out of 125.
Okay. So the next thing I wanted to mention, Jennifer, is that Melissa Luck, who's a journalist at KXLY in Spokane, she received a response from WSU about this termination.
Oh, no. It kind of seems to me, I know that as a journalist, you don't cite your sources, but it kind of looks to me like, hey, don't ask where I got my source from, and hey, don't ask where I got my source from. I want to know where these sources are all coming out of the woodwork, which people will come out of the woodwork, That's true.
Letter and all the reporting that we've been doing. And WSU cited a whole bunch of federal law saying they can't, release a lot of employment records, but they did say this. this is what the statement that she got was. In part, Mr. Kohberger does not currently have a teaching assistantship, and he is not currently enrolled in WSU. What do you make of that?
Well, it was certainly ambiguous. They did not want to say anything that would have been against the policies and procedures of release of information. But I did find this interesting. Recall when the search warrant was returned on his office. I thought it very surprising that not one thing was gleaned from that office. Not a computer, not any paperwork, not any doodling, nothing from that office. And this possibly could explain why.
It's fascinating. I just want to add.
One thing was gleaned. Recall when the search warrant was returned on his office. I thought it very surprising that not one thing was gleaned from that office. Not a computer, not any paperwork, not any doodling, nothing from that office. And this possibly could explain why.
It's fascinating. I just want to add one piece of new reporting tonight as well, Jennifer. You may already know of this, but it just sort of crossed the wires late, that Pennsylvania police in two different areas, the Northampton County District and Lehigh County, are now looking into their cold cases. Because don't forget, he's from Pennsylvania. You went across the country to Idaho to go to school, or to Washington to go to school. And they're saying they're looking through all their cold cases now for possible links to Kohberger. I suppose that's not a surprise given what they're now learning, in the allegations against him. Jennifer, excellent reporting as usual. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.
I thought that was going to play again. I was like, oh, we won't do that. Oh, the one where Bryan had graded the paper. That's the one you're, okay. I was wondering what you were talking about, like which, part. Sorry, I didn't get to read some of your comments. I was trying to get out my papers because she said, Jennifer said that they didn't seize anything from the office, which I don't think that they did. But, unless they have that page redacted. But maybe they didn't need to. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that officers really need to take the whole computer nowadays to get everything off of it? I don't think so. They probably just put a thumb drive looking thing in there and it probably takes all the information off the computer. I don't know that for sure though. I mean, maybe I'm thinking too far ahead of time. Maybe we need to invent that. But if you guys are just now joining us, we are talking about the Idaho Ford case. We've been discussing this, on and off since November 13th. We are discussing Bryan Kohberger and his termination letter from WSU and how, Jennifer Koffendorfer and Ashley Banfield were discussing the reasons behind his firing. I don't know. Let's see. What do I have next? Let me see. I don't know what this one is. So everybody everybody is running with this too. I was looking it up before I got on here because I was trying to find another. Okay, so I was trying to find another news outlet or anything, even Daily Mail or something, anything that could tell me, give me another news source or another person that's come forward or, but they just kept quoting Banfield or News Nation. And so if it's only one person saying it, and I think I know where she got the information from, and that's what I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. And that's the scariest part about this all. And you're going to love this summer. And everybody else that knows about Kim, she may have a husband. I'm just kidding. It's not her husband, but a guy's come forward. So, oh, thank you, Allison, for becoming a member. You're now new to the green team. You get a cool little titanium arm beside you and everything. And a bunch of new emojis. And I guess the more members that we get, the more emojis that we get. And I'm not just saying that. But that would be a good way to sell it, huh? But if you guys could, if you're just now joining us, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good fun stuff. We would love to have you in the chat. I do have it on subscriber only mode just to combat with bots. If you're watching on a replay, #replay, all the fun stuff. All the fun stuff. So yeah, so a video came out And I'll tell you about that really quick. So a video came out and it's kind of centered around all of this. So what I'm leading up to is to show you a video where I think all of this, like where Jennifer got her information, where unfortunately, Ashley Banfield got her information, where all these news sources got their information. I think it's from this one guy that put out a video 4 weeks ago saying that he's from the inner circle of Dylan's. Yeah, you heard it here first, guys. So that's what I wanted to play that for you today because I saw this on another creator's channel at 6:00 this morning. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Believing this? Are you? I know that we're not 100% on anything in life, but you know, in life, you could be like 99.9999999% sure on things. That's how I feel about this person. So I just have like, I think one more video to show you before we get there. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, really? So I went through that pretty quick though. All that stuff. Wow. This might be I have more stuff I could show you guys though. I'm like, it might be a shorter live, but no, I have stuff I can show you. The video, this guy sounds like an idiot. Yeah, have you seen it, Leslie Ann? Okay, so yeah. And I can't keep my mouth shut on things. Like, I'm bad about stuff. Like, people are clickbaiting. That's why I put in the title today, or did she? And because I did a video, it's coming out tomorrow on this too. So if you guys could just watch it to support the creator. But I wanted to try to, put it out there for people to see and just be like, and I kept having to pause the video. I was like, I'm not going to pause this a lot, not for every lie. And I was still pausing. And it was just like, I don't know. This guy is on some sort of sedative too. So we'll watch that in just a moment. The next thing I wanted to show you before we did that was, okay, so this is another News Nation segment. And I love Ashley Banfield, and you know I do. And you know that I love Brian Eaton. I love News Nation, Kumo, all of them. I do. But when we get to this video and you start hearing this video, you're going to be like, is this where they're getting their source? Is this their source? Like, it's just, oh my gosh. Everyone's talking. Oh, you see other people talking about it today too? I have only seen one person talk about it, and that was this morning. And then I pulled it up because I was like, okay, let me go to this person's YouTube page to check out this video. Because I couldn't get through the first person that did it, the person that took the video off the page and then he ran with it. I couldn't watch all of it. So I was like, can't watch it. So then I went to the actual sources page, and I was just like, oh my God. No, this one, she stole the Addies from him. She stole them from him, and he is on another level of slowness. He is sedated. Like, I'm not going to slow him down. I didn't slow him down. It sounds like he's on really slow. So this one's a short little clip here, and then we'll get into that because that one's a little bit long. It's not that long, but you guys, when you guys see the video, you're going to be like, really? Really? People, people believe it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it, but that's just me. But if they want to come on my show and talk to me and, my channel, my show, this is my show on my channel, talk to me live, I would do that. I'd love that. I would love it, for anyone to do that. Oh, his voice was slowed down as to disguise it, I heard. That's what you want to say. Oh, well, it sounds like it, but I don't know. I was going to speed it up, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like, we just got to, yeah, it's one thing after another. No, and not out of Walgreens, not just Walgreens, CVS had that shortage too. I had to switch to a different pharmacy because they were running out of medications over there. I was like, what's going on there? I'm like, what is going on in the world of prescription medication? Like, it's not even like, I think you could get them on the streets better than you can get them in the pharmacy right now. That's a sad thing. So it says exclusive new details on the Idaho murders. And these are all just from like last night and the night before too. So, you know, take this all with a grain of salt. Actually, I said in my video earlier, you know, the salt, I don't know, not, okay, so Teresa doesn't have this luxury because she's just, you know, living it down in Florida. So she doesn't need this thing. But she knows what it is. You know, all that salt that they keep for the roads when it gets like really snowy out and icy. And like they have that big salt mine, like it's big salt mounds. And it's like, you know, for the salt trucks. Take all of that salt on the Midwest, and you still need more salt to be taken with this video. So not this video playing here, but the next one. So, or this one too, I don't know. So I'm going to play this one here. It's a minute 46.
Let me tell you, it certainly does give a little bit more perspective as to why she didn't call 911 right away, perhaps. We're told that Dylan actually mistook the noises that she'd been hearing. Remember, the affidavit said that around 4 a.m., she could hear some noises up on the third floor, thought it was maybe, Kaylee playing with the dog, Murphy, didn't think a lot more than that. But ultimately, a few moments later, she heard a lot of noises. She opened her door and effectively kind of yelled out to her roommates, calm down, like cut it out, keep it down. You guys are being loud. I'm trying to sleep. It's late. Thinking that there were roommates horsing around, that perhaps all that noise that she was hearing was just them, you know, being boisterous and still in party mode. It was late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. So she then closed her door and went back to bed, but within minutes, perhaps sort of roused again by noise, opens the door again, was going to say something again to the effect of, keep it down already. It's the middle of the night. And that's when she sees the figure coming towards her. Now, this has been a big bone of contention for a lot of people. Why, if you saw some shadowy, terrifying figure walking towards you, would you just close your door and go back to bed and not call the police? And the characterization to the source who spoke directly with her after the murders is that she didn't think that figure was anything other than just part of the horsing around, maybe one of the partiers, maybe somebody who was a friend of one of the other roommates that was making all the noise. But it, you know, startled her nonetheless to see a man in the middle of the night, dark, walking towards her. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find.
And I forgot to tell you one more thing. It's just going to be, it's just a fun live. Guess who's back too? So not Kim, but I'm going to play the video next of the guy that is super slow. But Ashley, the girl that is being sued by the professor at the University of Idaho, you know, the TikToker Ashley that is a tarot card reader. And she said that this professor did this crime along with Jack. Well, our girl's back and she's got content for days. I'm talking, we're going to have to do a whole live over it because, you know, that's just funny. I mean, it's just stupid. The girl is like already in so much trouble. Like, I mean, you know, you would think you're getting sued, you would lay off of TikTok, but I have not watched any of them. But there's so many. So actually, I'll show you really quick. And she better not delete any of these before we get back on here. But I'm pretty sure these are all going to be about the same thing. So when we last saw her, she was down here in this pink robe. So yeah, I don't know what happened here. But yeah, she's got some videos. She's here for entertainment, I guess. I don't know. Kelly D, I don't think she would take it. She doesn't even have the right tarot cards. She's a tarot card reader and she doesn't even have tarot cards. I don't understand that. She has them like once. Oh, does she still have the same nails though? Because she was rocking them nails for a good 6 months. I'm like, how did you do that? Oh no, she got new ones. Oh, yep. See, that's what she needs. She just needed to go get new nails. See, that's what it was. New nails, new her, you know? Yeah, you guys in Florida don't have to worry about that salt trucks. That's what I was saying. Yeah, about that salt. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I think it's because she was on the bottom floor too. And that's why no one's really questions her, but I agree. 74. Wow, you guys were all, even TF, it's probably nice even there. Exactly. Well, so where I got it from, so you saw it on Reddit. I saw it on here. So, okay. Well, I saw it on another creator's. He did a video on it. And so I saw it, about fell out of bed 6 o'clock this morning and said, "Are you kidding me right now with life?" And I had to make sure that everyone knew I didn't think that it was right. Like that, I don't think that this is like, I don't know. But it could be. It could be. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you guys will hear something that I didn't hear. But he does speak very slow, so we'll all be able to hear everything he says. This video does have 37,000 views, over 37. It does have 493 subscribers. Now, personally, if I thought that I was doing, okay, this is how I'm going to start this. If this was me and I knew that I was going to be doing a video for a friend to put out there, because that's what this he's the inner circle. You'll hear that. I would turn the comment section off. That would be my first thing. It would be off because you wouldn't want people in the comment section harassing said victim. If you're there to help her, and you know what I mean? If you're there to help her, you would consider her a victim. So you would, well, then I would probably, let me see, what else was I was going to say something else. Oh, so then he gets permission to share whatever she told him. Like he has her permission, he said. If I ever gave someone permission to videotape or do a video on me and I wasn't there to like see it, I would be like, send it to me before you post that, right? Okay, well, you're going to hear things in here like she was smiling and she's fine. That's the way Dylan's cool. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but she wouldn't, if this was true, she wouldn't allow those things to be said. She would be like, dude, don't put that on there. That makes me look bad. So I don't know, just take those little things just take it with all the salt, like I said, with the salt trucks in the Midwest. And you guys tell me what you think. And I'm probably going to pause it to tell you what I think.
Okay, so before we dive into what I'm referring to about the Fed screwing or attempting to screw Dylan, and give you a brief background as to who I am. So my girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident occurred. And I've seen her a plethora of times as well. So you're going to notice I'm not going to use words like allegedly, supposedly, because all of this is actual first-hand factual information. Where should I start to clear things up? First of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan suffering from PTSD or trauma or...
I wanted to let you guys know when this came out too. So this came out 4 weeks ago, but it actually says, let me go back, the exact date on there.
Any of that.
Oh, there it is down there. Okay. Oh no, it says 4 weeks ago, but it did say the exact date. Now I can't remember what the date was, but the PCA came out on like the 5th, and this came out like, I think a couple weeks later.
None of that is accurate. In fact, when we try to console Dylan after the incident, she's the one that was laughing at me and my girlfriend and I, talking about we're so weird when we tried to give her a hug and stuff. So she's still the same old Dylan. She's had a rough life growing up. She's been through a lot. She doesn't have PTSD and didn't suffer any trauma. The incident that night, and what I'm referring to with the Fed actually put a lot of words into her mouth that she didn't say herself first. So there was a lot of leading statements that they were insinuating to her. And she was really scared the first few days, obviously, after the incident occurred. So, like, the reason none of it makes sense in the affidavit is because it didn't really happen that way. So, she never stood there shocked when she saw the individual. She was just standing in her doorway, like, like anybody who opens the door. It was just, she opened the door and yelled at Ethan and Xana, and who she thought was their friend. She yelled at them to be quiet.
Let me unmute myself. So I'm going to explain it to people that are just now joining, because this is it's a little slow, but it'll get us there. This is supposedly Dylan Mortensen. Okay, Dylan Mortensen gave this guy that's on the video, that's talking behind the camera, or talking. He gave her. She gave him permission to do this tape, this video, and come out and say all these things and try to correct what was in the PCA. Correct? This video was made 4 weeks ago. It was made like right after the PCA was released, I think a week or so afterwards. So a lot of news outlets are giving this source credit, and I think this is where they're getting it. I haven't seen it anywhere else like this. So I'm thinking this is where they're getting it from. If you guys seen it where it's been in a different format than this, let me know, because I just think this guy is ridiculous. The things that he says, I'm pretty sure if, and this guy here, he's from Dylan's inner circle. But then he says, but my girlfriend has hung out with her every day since it happened. That's not inner circle. That's your best friend. If you're hanging out with someone every day, they're at least your friend. They're not even an acquaintance at that point. They are your friend. Why would you say inner circle? I don't even know who uses words like that. Yes, you're exactly right, Robert. If this guy wasn't there, then it's hearsay. You're absolutely right. Let's continue. This is a crazy one. If you guys could thumbs up the video as you guys are coming in, I would really appreciate that. It's free to do, and it really does help the channel grow. We would love to have you subscribe. We do talk true crime every day here. We are working on the Idaho 4 case as we are speaking right now. So if you need to get caught up, we have been on the live for about 48 minutes. So there's a little bit to catch up on.
That's what was going on with that situation. And she just went back into her room. She locked the door like usual. And, went to sleep. Everything was quiet after she yelled at them. So she didn't think anything of it. For everyone who's creating these random stories about her being shocked or traumatized, she didn't realize anything was going on. And it might sound crazy, it might sound dumb, but she really had no clue anything was going on. They were being a little loud, so she yelled at them to be quiet. And that's it. She locked her door and she just went back to her room. And she didn't want to be nosy or anything. So, she was kind of new to that house, so she didn't want.
He said that she was kind of new to the house. Does anybody know? And I put this in my video too. Like my video that I did a pre-recorded. It comes out tomorrow. But does anyone know when she moved in, when Dylan moved into the house? I'm just curious. I'm just extremely curious. Oh, don't I know you don't try. Well, I usually go live in the mornings. I'm trying to just do different times, see what kind of works best for everybody. Okay, so this, nope, she said, I wish the whole American college life. We don't have sororities here. I never went to a sorority. And I never went to an actual university. I went to an online school. I had to go online for college. I had to work. It sucked. All my friends were able to, you know, afford to go to college and spend just time away and do that thing. But I don't know. With me, I wanted to stay home too. I'm trying to read your guys' comments. So if I'm a little quiet, that's why. So the guy that's talking, this is someone from Dylan's inner circle. He's dating a girl that's from Dylan's inner circle. I don't know. But there's a lot of people that are out talking about this today like it's a gold mine, and it's not. To me, it's not. But I figured we'd have a listen through.
Want to be nosy and, you know, get up all up in their business, especially at, you know, in the middle of the night or early morning. So it's as simple as that. Everyone trying to blow that whole situation into something that's not. So yeah, that's that. And she didn't actually get a real good look at Bryan. You know, at the time, she assumed it was one of Xana and Ethan's friend who was just getting ready to leave, who was walking out. She didn't get that good of a look. The feds were really aggressive with Dylan the first few days, which is why she hired the attorney to begin with, because of the treatment of her during the interview, more like an interrogation, to be honest.
I actually looked into this whole lawyer thing. I can't find it anywhere that Dylan has a lawyer, that ever had a lawyer. The only family that I know of, there's two families that have a lawyer. Kaylee Gonzalez's family hired an attorney to represent them. Bryan Kohberger has got a public defender representing him. But I have never heard of Bethany nor Dylan getting an attorney. I've looked it up. I've Googled it. I Twittered it. I read it. I can't find it anywhere. So if you guys have seen it, let me know. So was it Maddie, the one that had lived there a while? Because I thought it was Kaylee and then Maddie moved in. Or maybe it was vice versa. But I know that one of the girls moved in first. And she had lived there for a while because they couldn't room together. I think it was like maybe for even a year. They couldn't room together. They were rooming together for their last year. Remember, Mr. Gonzalez comes out and he says that in our interview. And they were so excited because they were going to be together. So I'm thinking Maddie lived there for a while, and then Kaylee came in, and I think she came in August. I think, but I don't know. I know that someone said, it's something about BF, about Bethany not really being talked about. I think it's because she was in such a far spot from it. But then again, I don't know. I don't know what they've said to them. You know, I don't know what they've talked to them about or what they've questioned them about. I'm sure that it wasn't fun for them to be questioned. And I'm sure maybe it did seem like an interrogation. I could even give her that. But you got to think about it. If you're I mean, and I'm not saying she didn't think about it like this, but I'm thinking if you have 4 friends that are killed like that, sorry, you're not going to be able to take a nap. Like, you're going to have to go to the police station, answer some questions for a while. That's what I feel like anyway. You know, like, I don't know. But then again, when she does say about the noise, or he says about the noise, like, I mean, that does make, I don't know, her waking up and opening the door and not saying anything compared to this story of her saying like, "Hey, keep it down." That one I don't know. Cuz I could see me yelling at me yelling at roommates to keep it down. Hey, Sleuthy. Anyone heard how crime sleuthing is after her accident? Oh, I think she's okay now, Isabel. I saw that she posted a video today. I saw that on her like community post or something. So yeah, so I don't know. And then he says in this video that she's like, I don't know, crazy and stuff. And I feel like if this was Dylan, I think she'd have the wherewithal to listen to the tape before it was published to the internet.
So that's why she got an attorney.
But if anyone knows if she got an attorney, let me know, because I really don't know that. I've looked and Googled everywhere. I cannot figure that out.
The way they were talking to her, and, you know, they didn't really understand or believe why she's the only one alive when you kind of skip rooms to get to the other two rooms. So she didn't really like the feel of how the interrogators or the feds were talking to her. And within like a few days after the incident, they approached her with pictures of Bryan. I was like, is this the guy? Do you think this is the guy? This is definitely him, right? And they were almost leading her to believe this has to be the person. And she wasn't really sure. But they kind of put those words in her mouth. It's almost like, they were insinuating it so much to where she was like, yeah, I think, yeah, no, it's definitely him. And that's when they just kind of like ran with it. So what you see in the affidavit is it didn't play out that way. So Dylan's attorney and her, and actually all of us, are pretty upset at how they threw her under the bus in the affidavit. When's the last time you've seen a witness or like a snitch in a case, their actual names being mentioned? The fact that they didn't redact it. We all think that the feds and prosecutors threw her name in there purposely to apply more pressure, because Dylan was really wishy-washy during the interrogation, and with them, putting these words, set in stone on paper, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on her now, because everyone views her as like some star witness, the star of the case. So that's what we all believe, that she kind of is getting screwed over by, the feds and the prosecutor, because now she has to testify and she has to say kind of what words they put in her mouth instead of what she actually believed, and what she actually knows happened, like with her own words, not words that were like shoved in her mouth, So, yeah, her attorney is pretty upset. She's pretty upset. But at the same time, she knows that, she can be a huge help in this case. So it's not like she's identifying somebody she didn't see. It just didn't play out necessarily like, oh, bushy eyebrows. She saw bushy eyebrows, and was able to 100% identify him.
I'm not a police officer. I've never been a police officer. I did go to school for my bachelor's in criminal justice and applied science, but I'm no law person. I'm not a lawyer, but every time I've ever heard or seen on TV, like, I'm going to say on TV, like First 48 or whatever have you, when the police do a lineup, they don't tell you this is the guy. they normally give you a lineup of like a certain amount of people. Like let's say a spread a 6-pack. They'll take a 6-pack of people in there. The person that takes the 6-pack in, like the person that has the paper in their hand, that cop is normally not even someone that's affiliated with the case, because so that way it's not biased, so he can't be like, oh yeah, pick him or do any of that. Get what I'm saying? So I don't know. These things are just the stuff that threw me off. I just don't see officers throwing down a piece of paper. Like if they were only 6 weeks into the investigation or something, it wasn't a cold case. It's not like they needed to be like, you need to tell us who did this right now, or we're going to do what? What are you going to do? Nothing. There's nothing that they could do to her. Get her for what? I mean, I can't even think of anything, because like literally as far as they were concerned, she didn't have anything to do with it. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think she has anything to do with this either.
It's just initially when, detectives and feds came in and took over the scene had been contaminated so badly by the local authorities. When they first came, first responders, they stomped all over the place, contaminated the scene. All the, other people that were at the house, they were, walking up and down the steps, to make sure what they're seeing is what they're really seeing. So, this is a scene that was really badly contaminated. So to equal the playing field, the feds feel like, having a star witness is critical here. But just the way she was being interrogated.
Do you guys think that they'll consider her star witness? Do you think that they would? I never looked at her as a star witness. But what do you guys think? I thought that she would, she might testify. Yeah, I would think she would testify to what she saw that evening for sure. But how, because you guys know me, you know how I feel about eyewitness testimonies. If you've been on my channel any amount of time, they're not always credible. Different people see different things when they're under trauma. Like for her to even, whenever I heard that she picked him out based on his build and his bushy eyebrows, myself, I personally was like, dang girl, you're good. Because if that were me and I was under that much trauma, and I've been under a lot of trauma. So this is coming from somebody that's dealt with trauma. I would have been passed out. Wouldn't have even opened the door to begin with. If I heard weird noises, okay, then this is another thing. Okay, this is the thing that got me too. They were talking about, like the people were coming over. He's talking about that and stuff. And he said that they came in the house between, like 2 and 4 or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to replay it for you guys. But it just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, when did these people come into the house? Like, when did they come to party? Was it, oh, that's what it was. Because Dylan heard noises. She thought it was partiers. So when did these partiers show up? Was it at 2:00 when they all said everybody was home and hanging out at the house? Or did they come over after 4:00 after she said 4 a.m. after she said everybody was already in bed going to sleep? So who was throwing the party? Who was bringing the people over? I want to know. Yeah. I don't like eyewitness testimony at all. I really don't. Because I know that like if you flash something fast, if like I've seen documentaries on it, and I know myself, me personally, I wouldn't be able to say that in a dark house. And we've looked at the house at night, like being inside. We've done a live on it where you're inside the house, and you can click the little thing there and it'll let you be in the dark, and you cannot see a lot. The only sign that's glowing is that good vibe sign. So unless he hit that perfectly, I'm just saying she's got to have some good eyes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would be so scared to pick the wrong person. So she had to have been sure. Like, what do you guys think? I don't know. Now I'm just questioning myself because I don't know if I would be able to. I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that situation. That's like something I can't. I mean, I've never been in that situation. And I don't think any of us have, but I think a lot of us feel like we would handle it differently given if we were in that situation. And I don't know. We really just have to be there to really judge her, I guess. But I do want to know why they I know why they had Dylan pinned from the beginning, but I feel like they had her kind of pinned when they even thought she was on the first floor. They had back porch lights on too, coming through the wall size sliding glass doors. Yeah, no, those back lights are a lot. Are like, I think you could be seen from the behind. I personally think that I think he came in the front door. I personally think he did. Y'all know I think he came in that front door. I can't get over that front door. I never will. Because that front door was left open too. Different neighbors came forward with that. So that's just weird to me too. I need to find my paper. I have a paper with questions on it for you guys. Let me find that while I'm playing this for you.
Initially was it's kind of crazy. It's not what you guys think. They weren't being all sensitive and gentle to her. They were really accusatory and kind of, pressured, put the press on her. Thought that she might have something to do with it because it just didn't make sense to them why she's the only one alive. And on top of that, didn't see anything or really hear anything. She didn't want to be nosy, didn't want to, get up in her roommate's business. She told him to be quiet. I mean, the last thing that crossed her mind was people are getting slaughtered next door and upstairs, So, I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. So, yeah, just to go over the whole, suffering trauma, she was shocked as she saw him walk past her. Like, it's not as dramatic as you guys think. Like, he was already halfway towards the kitchen and walking out. And for all of y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. And you have to think about it. Why would a survivor, a victim, have to hire an attorney? Obviously, they were mistreating her pretty badly as they're interrogating her, and especially now throwing her name in the affidavit like that. That's all because they're pretty upset she hired an attorney to begin with. And because they want to put a lot of pressure on her from the public for her to be the star witness. But aside from that, she's doing good. She's the same old Dylan. Yeah, no, there's no trauma, PTSD, anything. She really feels for, her friends who are deceased, and she does beat herself up a little bit about not being more involved in the situation that night. But realistically, I mean, something like that's not going to cross your mind that something like that's taking place in your house. So yes, she does feel for the family, and she's really saddened by the whole situation. But as far as her as an individual, she's still the same person. She's not like a traumatized individual, So yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything, and let's see. Yeah, no, that's everything. Hopefully this video doesn't come off sounding crazy, and clears up a lot of the questions everybody has. All right.
It didn't. I got more questions than I have answers now. Is this guy drunk? Yeah, no, he was on some sedatives or something when he made this. We don't know what, I mean, I'm like, whoa. But I mean, I think someone said in another chat, like I could fall asleep to his voice, or maybe it was under that one or something, but I was just like, wow. But Kat's Real Life said, Mystic Tarot said, if she shouted at her roommates, then BK would have known there was still a living occupant and witness in the house. Why didn't he kill her? That's a good question. I'm thinking that she didn't yell out. I'm going to go with the affidavit, like the PCA, and say that she was quiet and she opened the door and she looked the 3 times. I don't think she yelled. That's why. And I think when she opened the door, okay, that door is such a weird angle to me. Like when you come around to the kitchen, like if you're coming around, your eyes are going to be going this way. Like they're not going to be going this way. Like to me anyway, my eyes are going to be going on that back door, like around the corner out the back door. Like I'm fixated. That's where I'm going. I need to head out. So I think when she opened the door, if the lights were off in her bedroom, and this is only what I think, in my opinion, if the lights were off in her bedroom and she opened the door up all the way and she was sat back in the door, maybe he didn't even see that door was open and he didn't even like see that was an actual entryway anywhere. He just saw the stairs that went up. He had already went up them, and then he was out the back door. So with the PCA, I have some questions for you guys, because I love bringing the questions for y'all sometimes, because then it like helps me. With Steve Gonzalez saying, because the PCA or not, the PCA doesn't say how anybody died, or this says how they died. I'm sorry. It doesn't say who went where first, like who died first. It doesn't say that. But Steve Gonzalez came out and said he didn't have to go up the stairs, because in the PCA, everyone after reading it assumed that Kaylee and Maddie were killed first, and then he went downstairs to the second floor and killed Zaina and Ethan. So why did Mr. Gonzalez say he didn't have to go upstairs? I don't understand that now. To me, with him saying he didn't have to go upstairs, meaning he already killed the first 2 people on the second floor who he came for, there was no need to go up and kill his daughter or her friend. That's what I take out of that. Because I think that's what happened. I think he started on the first floor. I've been on that first floor for a while, or second floor, I guess technically. Do you think he heard someone moving around in there? Yeah, maybe. Maybe he mistakenly believes Anne and Ethan. I just don't know how you can take out 4 people like that. I know that you can have rage that I don't know of, okay, or whatever. I know that is possible. But Ethan was the bigger guy, and I know he had a knife. But if he started upstairs and he just killed 2 people upstairs, and he's coming downstairs to do 2 more, you don't think his energy has already been most of it exerted because just 2 people? I don't know. You would think that I don't know. You would think that I don't know. I just don't want to say it. I don't want to say anything like that's like, I don't want to say anything that makes it sound bad, but I just feel like Ethan was a bigger guy. He was, and that hallway is so small. And I know that in self-defense classes and stuff, they tell you to box your person in, like, so that they can't, like, even if like someone's trying to like get a swing at you or something, like to box them in or keep them closer. So I don't know. I'm just theorizing here, guys, I guess. And then I took these notes actually a while back, and then I kept saying, I'll come back to these notes and ask my people in the chat. And then we've just been so busy. It's been like crazy. Ethan, you think so too, Isabel? Okay. Isabel's still on the Ethan must have been first Tanya Train too. Okay. Because that's how I feel. Ethan must have been first because he would have protected the girls. I think he got Ethan from the back. I think he got Ethan either he could have gone from the back, or he was the first person and they were in bed and he was asleep and he got him in the chest or something. Oh yeah. I'll put my email, and I'll put it the right way this time. I'll put it in the chat. The other night I wasn't putting it right and I couldn't get it right. Isabel was trying to help me and I'm like, what? TitaniumBuilt@gmail.com. And I don't think he had like, you think that Ethan was drunk and not sleeping cold? I kind of think the same thing. I think either they ate together, like Zaina ordered the food, they ate together, because I mean, there's been times that we'll order one meal and me and my boyfriend will split it. You know what I mean? And they ate together and they went to sleep, or I don't even think they really had time to even go to sleep with the timing. I'm trying to see what my notes say, see if they make sense to me. Oh, okay. So it says Dylan and Bethany both say everyone was home by 2 a.m. and in their beds by 4 a.m., with the exception of Zaina, who got Grubhub delivery around 4 a.m. But then Dylan says that sometime after 4 a.m., she hears what appears to be Kaylee playing with Murphy in one of the upstairs bedrooms. And a short time later, Dylan said she thought what she heard Kaylee say, "There's someone here." In the PCA, it says in the PCA that it could have been Zaina because she was using the TikTok app. So my question was on here was, wouldn't Dylan know Zaina's voice from Kaylee's voice? I mean, maybe not. But I was just one of my questions I had. I'm not saying that, anyone's wrong. I'm just wondering, wouldn't she know the differences in the voices? The two survivors, they did? I didn't know that they killed themselves. I didn't know that part. But he did it with a baseball bat, didn't he? Instead of a knife? Or both? You think he got Ethan from behind walking back into Zaina's room? That sounds like it could be it too. Especially if someone came out and said, "I'm here to help you." I don't know who that would have been. But you think, actually, now that I said that, she said what she heard was somebody. That's the only part in the PCA where they don't give a name. Like, she says she thought she heard someone say, "It's okay, I'm here to help you." But if it was Ethan that said that, I think it would have said in the PCA, Ethan said, "I'm here to help you." Or maybe she just didn't know Ethan's voice that well to be able to say whether or not it was Ethan. So they put that under, man's voice. Yeah, the PCA only said also in the room. Yeah, they were both in the room, I believe, too. I know a lot of people are speculating that they were outside the room, or maybe they were in the doorway into the room, but in the PCA it says that they were standing in the door frame looking into the room. I know. I hope that, I don't even know where to go with that. The comment, the "I'm here to help you." Because can you imagine, like, you hear some stuff going on, and then you see this strange person, and maybe you feel relief for a minute? Because when you hear help, like, you're like, "Oh, someone's here to help." With a piece of wood, yeah. I didn't know if it was a bat or wood. I knew it was something like that. So he was a piece of work. Yeah, and Dylan is not supposed to talk about it, and she's doing a very good job. But this person here, I don't know. They did not do a very good job. So that's why I wanted to bring it on my channel, because I wanted to bring out this isn't true. This isn't I don't think they suffered. I hope that they didn't. The intruder had to be already in the house before the girls upstairs arrived and after coming down. Face off with Ethan, allegedly. Wasn't it stated that a person ran out the front door? See, I didn't see that a person ran out the front door, but the front door was open. We have I have multiple news sources that say that. And then BK did arrive after 4:04. Yeah, I have that wrote down somewhere. Or I think it's just like on one of these little green post-it. I have stuff like papers everywhere. I've got these. Oh wait, not in the camera, so you guys can't see them if I don't pull them the right way. And then I got the new ones that just came out, because I'm a paper person and I know that's bad. But I do keep it all. And then I guess when I'm done with it, I'll probably recycle it and plant a tree with all the paper I have. But I have one eye, so everyone give me a break. I'm using that card right now. It's a lot easier for me to it really is to see paper and like than to see a computer and stuff. So I know, Teresa, but I want them now. Tell them to bring them to us now, Teresa. We want the facts now. I can't wait. I think surveillance will too, because like, I think it's going to show more than I think what we think. And I don't know, because if Kaylee and Maddie were picked up on that surveillance, I feel like he could be picked up on it, getting out of his car too. And I think that's what they got him actually doing, was getting out. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Well, we adore you. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look at it. I know. Man, I couldn't imagine. And then we do have the new court documents that came up. Let me see what's going on. Oh, actually, you know what? I put this, I put the TV on in my room to see like what was going on, if there was anything going on. And I forgot to even look at it, but I don't think anything was. Oh wait, it's because Banfield doesn't start till 10 o'clock. And it's 20 minutes till then. So I was going to have to see what was on there. Because I wanted to see what she was going to talk about tonight. And I think that the papers aren't going to really tell us much. I think that they're... I do have a... It's just pretty much they're not going to be able to talk about it. The lawyer for the Gonzalez family is really trying to get people behind him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Tanya can you find the Banfield video where she shows, see, I thought I had that up. I forgot about that. Hold on. Do we show that? Hold on. No, this one isn't it. Did I not show that? I guess not. Let's see. Because I think I had that. I know I had it up to show you because I thought I watched it. Did we not watch that? Because you all know I forget sometimes. Okay. Let's go to News Nation. Because I remember watching it, her doing an episode on that. Let me see. Isn't that the same one where she had Jennifer Coffendorfer on there? Or maybe not. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, we did play this. So we played this earlier in the stream. I had to think about it for a minute. But yeah, we played this earlier in this stream. Because we were wondering why they didn't cite their sources. Because Jennifer Coffendorfer was going to go on there. She took to Twitter, like people do. She took to Twitter and she said, I love my web sleuths. And I'm going to get you guys answers tonight on Ashley Banfield. And then she didn't even call her out one time. So I'm just like, I was feeling a little sad in the world of journalism, if you consider that, you know. Because when you're in journalism, you're supposed to ask the hard questions, or I'm not good at asking the tough questions like that. I'll tell you the truth. I am not. I am not good at putting people on the spot. But that's why I got y'all to help me get the motivation to be able to do that. I'm bad. I'm not a conflict person at all. I'm like, I'll do anything to not have a conflict. Like, I will straight hide. There isn't a conflict of interest with Taylor. So Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people that signed, though. Let me see if I can find that for you guys to look at really quick. I think Ashley Banfield had it on her Twitter. That's where I go for Twitter fun. For all my stuff, I just go to Twitter now. I only follow like a few people, but I follow you. If you want to come over to Twitter, I'll follow you back. I don't mind. And then it just, oh yeah, so here it is. It says, petition launched to have public defender Ann Taylor removed from Bryan Kohberger's Idaho murders case for conflict of interest. Taylor represented 3 parents of her new client's alleged victims. In 5 hours, they've almost reached their goal. So let's see where they're at with their goal. Wow. Yep, they did. They had some people sign it. I mean, I don't, just because you sign a petition, I mean, you know, but it could help. I think this case is getting, it's getting really muddied. And I feel like with the parent, okay, like I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, but I feel like the Gonzalez family, I love them, but they need to just let the court system kind of work its justice. Don't fight with it, because your lawyer sending these documents every other day is just muddying the courts. It's taken away from the task at hand, I think. As much as I love that family, their lawyer, Mr. Barr, needs to take a seat too. Or if he wants to listen to everything and keep it and retain it, and they can talk in secret, but it's like you have 4 other families. There's 3 other families. That's what I have to say about it. In my opinion, y'all, because you know, I love the Gonzalez family. I do. And I wish that if something happened to me and that was my dad, I hope to God my dad would stand up and be like, until the killer was caught. And then I would expect for him to sit back and let the wheels of justice kind of go, because you don't want him to get off with a technicality. You don't want him to be able to come back and, you know, later on down the line, get this a reversal or something. You just don't want that. Yeah, the Gonzalez family did cite all this emotion. They did. And as much as I like them, it's hurting the other families, because you even hear from the other families. We went through Maddie Mogan's, let's say for instance, we went through her father's interviews the other day. He said that the police were calling him every single day to give him an update on this case. He said if 2 days went by and he didn't call the police back because he was busy because of work, and this is the father saying that, the police would come and find him. Mr. Mogan, you okay? We're here to give you an update. But then you hear from this other family that they're not getting any updates. Nothing's happening for them. Like, I just, you know, they're in the dark. There's not, you know, I guess it's just how you take it. I don't know. The power of attorney thing is what gets me. Like, not that she's really, you know, is Maddie's dad and stepmom's lawyer attorney, and not even really that she was Xana's, but I mean, but she was for a long time, 6 years. We're talking 2017. So, but she was power of attorney. And I don't joke with that. When you give someone power of attorney over you, you are essentially giving them the reins to do whatever the hell they want with you. Basically. I've seen it. It's happened to my mother. I saw it happen to her twice. Not once. I love her to death. May she rest in peace. But she was an idiot for letting it happen a second time. But literally, it's like letting someone just have control over your life. I don't see somebody, even at their worst, being like, yeah, here, to just anybody. Just here, yeah, take control over everything. I just don't see people doing that. I mean, I guess if she was in a situation where it was like she's going to go to jail, or if she doesn't go to rehab, but still, why would she need someone of a power of attorney? I don't even know why she would even need a power of attorney. Does anyone know why she gave Ann Taylor power of attorney? She's not old. She's not sick. I mean, does drugs. But I know a lot of people that do drugs. I did know a lot of people. I don't know anybody now, but y'all. But you know what I mean? And they never was like that. Oh, I have to look. Oh, okay. Thank you for sending it to me, Samantha. Addicts give power of attorney to be, but see, why can't she just say that she'll go to rehab? I don't get why you have to give them power of attorney. There'd be no way in hell I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail. No. My mom, okay, I'm gonna give you a little, this is just a personal thing that happened, but my mom didn't have control over anything. Her sister took control over her life. And I don't talk about it often, and when other people bring it up in the family, I shut it down. But let's be real. My aunt had control over my mom so much that she could control how much toilet paper my mother had for a given month. And there was nothing my mom could do because my mom was in a hospital about to die, so she signed power of attorney over to her sister, who is a nurse, thinking, hello, that's my sister who is a nurse. She's going to take good care of me. And then she didn't. So you don't just sign over power of attorney. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, you'd have to be really junkied out of your mind. Like, that's some stuff I've never even heard of. But she doesn't have no finances, Isabel. She poor. She doesn't, I mean, she has to be poor if you're on drugs that much. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like that much of an addict, you're spending all of your money is going back. Like, you know what I mean? TF said, dang, yeah, my poor mom. I love her. She did. But she went through a lot. She did. And to help me get back after my accident. Good Lord. Which, if you guys weren't here yesterday, oh, Teresa, I forgot to tell you this. It wasn't 10 years this year of my accident. It was yesterday marked 9 years since my accident. But I am going to post a video for you guys. I need to do one. I need to do like a getting, back to myself kind of video. I do have one on my TikTok. I'll have to show it to you guys sometime. It just has a song behind it, so I can't do it like on a live, or it'll turn my live right off. Megan Thee Stallion, she will not have that. Okay, so my mom had power of attorney for healthcare and financial, both of it, all of it. It was for both. It was ridiculous. And then I was in the hospital, and she's like, please help me get off power of attorney. Please. I don't want her on power of attorney. And we did. We worked really hard. And we did that. And then like a year later, 2 years later. It was 2 years later. It was right after. It was one of the last times I saw my mom before she passed away. She was walking into an attorney's office with my aunt. She could barely walk. So I don't know what she was on. But my mom didn't do drugs. But she looked sedated. She looked kind of like that guy talked. I remember that, and it was very sad because I knew exactly what she was doing. Because my mom don't go to no lawyer. She didn't have no money to be going to no lawyer. She went to go give her power of attorney back because she just was she didn't like conflict. She's like me. I got that from her. Pamela, I think the same thing. And I love Banfield. But I think she is ruined. I think she's doing some stuff that's not, like, it's not credible. Oh my gosh, an addict and schizophrenic has attorney's power of attorney for healthcare. That might be maybe it's just easier to give the attorney, like that in that situation, because getting insurance and getting healthcare and getting, if it's like for that, I understand that completely because I know, and this is different, but when I was in my car accident, after my accident, you have to go to doctors and you have to get like insurance. I didn't have insurance and stuff like that. So to do all of that, it was so hard on me. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I managed by myself. I didn't know my head from my butt, literally I was in a wheelchair. Like, what do I do? Like one eye in a wheelchair. Like, I'm just like, like, who do I call first? So maybe in that circumstance, I would give power of attorney to somebody but you got to really trust someone at the same time. It would still have to be someone I trusted. Yeah, I just don't see them for rehab. Yeah, she might be full disability. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, Teresa, after I was thinking about it. Because I was like, man, after I got in my accident, it was hard. I want to actually help other people with stuff like that, like older people. Maybe people in their 60s or 70s, 80s, they can't, it's hard for them to make their doctor's appointments or call insurance, because calling insurance can be really, really shitty. There's no other way to put it. Like a 2-minute phone, something that should take you 2 minutes to do, it will take you 4 hours to do. And then you're dancing with the music. They got you on hold, you're dancing. I mean, I'll be getting down to that music. But I hope that, oh, me too, Summer. I was about to say that. She took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, I hope Kara gets the help she needs. I do too. You can tell Zaina is her daughter. Like, wow. Like, and you know what? Zaina probably saw that in herself. And she probably didn't want to grow up to be like that. And that's why when a lot of people bring in drugs and stuff into this, there's never been any mention of that. There's never been any proof of that. I just think that that's bullcrap, because you could tell two of these girls, we've seen it. They had Ann Taylor in their freaking family, on family speed dial. I think that they were trying to, trying to better themselves. And I think they were doing a damn good job of doing it. Zaina was seriously probably the funniest person I've ever seen on TikTok. I watch TikToks and she makes me laugh. Or videos, she really makes me laugh. Her and Ethan together, gold, chef's kiss. You can tell he was a little more, like, he was fun, he was rambunctious, but she was more extroverted just a little bit than him. And I just thought that was really cute. I'll have to look to see if she is locked up or not for you really quick. Let me see. Because, like, she did go to jail, but then they let her out, I thought. So she might just be going back. I bet you if I slip over here. Okay, I was about to say, if I switch back over, I bet you Teresa would have answered it. So, yeah, as a nurse, as a surgery nurse. Yeah, no, they can make medical. Power of attorney can make medical decisions. That's what, yeah, my mom had the one with medical. That's how my mom started her journey. She had, after my father passed, 3 days after she had she went to the hospital with all 3 strains of pneumonia. So the woman was not doing good. So she couldn't make any medical decisions because they put her in a self-induced coma. So she couldn't make any decisions. That's what I told her. And we used to joke about it, because she was like, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm just like, it's okay, Mom. Hopefully my aunt's not watching this. JK. They don't. Okay, Bill, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. They let her out, but she didn't show up to court. Oh, she had a warrant for arrest when Banfield interviewed her. Yeah. So I think they got her again, though. I think they arrested her again. Let me see. I can't remember what page it is that I go on to find, like, there's like a couple. Let's see if I just look it up. Like her by her name. It just says, nope, it doesn't say. But we saw it on I did a live on it, and she was last week. Yeah, Teresa, you're right. I'm like, we've done so many lives, guys. You have no emergency contact right now? Kelly D, you need an emergency contact. Shit, put me down. I don't even know where you live. I'll be like, where we gotta go? Where we gotta go? Oh my gosh, you have to have an emergency contact. I got it all. I mean, they've got it all. And the computer, like if I'm down, okay, so if I'm in a hospital that's down where I'm located, they know to call Vincent. If I'm in a location that is in Columbus, Ohio, where my doctor, Ohio State University Hospital is, that's where a lot of my doctors are, they know to call my brother, because my brother works right there at Ohio State University. He's a welder. He's been building onto the building for the last 9 years. Thank God he's been there since my car accident. So they know to call him first because it's scary not to have someone when they call, like if you need someone to call. I don't know. I don't have my mom or dad. So I'm like, I'm really crazy about like, just making sure like I have this one person, Vincent, and he's not going anywhere. I'm like, you're my emergency contact, buddy. When he says he doesn't feel good, I'm like, we got to get you healthy. Got to get you healthy. I don't see that she's in jail, but you're totally right, Catherine. She will not get help if she is in jail for anything, for mental, for medical, for her, to detox. That's one of the worst places to ever detox. They do not give you medication for it. Sometimes they'll give you a little something. It makes it worse than makes it better. I've heard just horror stories. I couldn't even imagine. But I'm hoping, man, but it's like at the same time, they let her do the rehab thing before, and I guess she skipped town. But if it's like going to rehab or going to jail, to me, if I was a drug addict, I'd say which one's shorter. If I was a drug addict, because you just want to probably be back out to do drugs. Because if you're a drug addict, you don't want help until you want help. No, Kara was not close, Pamela, with her daughters. You're totally right about that. There was an interview that she actually did. It was, looking back on it now, it was really sad. This was like the first interview she did. And so I did kind of nitpick at her, but she didn't know simple things. Like she didn't know which bedroom was Zaina's. She believed it was the second floor, but she wasn't sure. She didn't know what kind of car she drove. She didn't know if she had license plates from Arizona still, or if she changed them to Idaho. Like simple things that I feel like as a mom you would know. And so I don't know. But then again, maybe she wouldn't know that. I don't know. I think that your mom would know. Yeah, she couldn't say where her bedroom was like, or yep, Isabel, you're right. She couldn't tell her that. And and at the time I was just kind of like, like at the time, I don't know. I was just, it was the first interview. It first came out and I was like, who is this lady? And I judged, and I shouldn't have judged her, but I did. I feel like I did. And I probably really didn't, but I feel like I did. Daybell, yeah. Delphi, that's another goodie. Me and Teresa were talking about that one today. I love that those girls got that Snapchat video. Can you believe that 2 cases are going on right now? 2 big cases, the Delphi and the Murdoch, and both of their evidence has to do with a Snapchat video. And the kicker is the perpetrator didn't know about the Snapchat video. So it's like whammy, if I've ever seen one. Yeah, they are 2 weeks over now. What's going on with that? They haven't even called any witnesses for the defense. Do you think they're going to call any witnesses, Teresa? Do they have any? You think they'd have some witnesses around the courthouse, but maybe His Majesty has fallen from his throne. How could they meet up with him on December 19th when he was in Pittsburgh? That's a good question. I said maybe a Zoom type of meeting. I don't know. That's a good question. She didn't know what lock the dad changed. Yep. And you would think, okay, so those chairs, you all know those chairs. We were talking about you, crime sleuthin'. We were asking about how you was doing. How are you doing? I forget who asked. Was it Isabel? Someone asked. And I told him I think that you were doing better because you had made a video or a post or something. No, a video. I saw the video. 70,000 fentanyl pills. That's what she had. Ooh, she was ready to party. Whoa. How much is that on? I mean, how much is that on like street? Like 70,000. I mean, we're just going to give a rough estimate because they're different milligrams, but I had to think how I wanted to say that. Oh, let me turn this so I can see what's going on. How much is 1 million? Okay, let's see. So they're about $15 to $20 a piece, it says. Or wait, no, that's not right. Wow, I'm looking at the biggest one. Okay, but it's not giving me a good answer. I was trying to find a good answer for you guys. $250 bond, that was it. So does that mean, was that her bail or bond? Because she doesn't get out for $25, does she? Surely not. She also had meth. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't know. I wonder if they did. Yeah, that's what she was arrested for the criminal trespass the last time we saw. Kelly D, you're right. You're right about that. I did a video on the Delphi. I think you saw that one, though. I think you watched it. In that case, I'm just like, Yeah, 250. That's it. That's like a shoplifting offense. 70,000 fentanyl. That's a lot. Like, what does 70,000 pills even look like? We need to get like one of those jars that's like, guess how many jelly beans are in the jar? But guess how many fentanyl pills are in the jar? Oh my gosh. I saw that. I forgot to mention that. Where did I see it? It's because I haven't went over the paperwork yet because I want to read it all. Is that where it was, Crime Sleuthin'? Was that where I saw it today? I moved my papers around, guys. I shuffled them around. That's not good. Okay, PCA, PCA, PCA. Yeah, I'm missing like 2 papers, but that's okay. Yes, it's on the case file now. Okay, yeah, I had them printed out. I'm going to go over those tomorrow. So they do have a mail on there. Okay. Let me see if I can just find the mail's name really quick. Yeah, right here. Or no, that's not him. That's the prosecutor. Let me go back. I might have to look at it again. But I thought that I did see that. It's insane. Yeah, so who had all the fentanyl? Zaina's mom. I was on fentanyl patches before. And they're no joke, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It didn't really do anything to me, so they took me off of those. I had legs that I couldn't even stand on. That's why I was on them. But that is insane. So for her, in order for her to have been caught with 70,000 fentanyl pills, she would have had to have just gotten them or something, because that's just insane. That's a lot. So when are we going to be able to meet Vincent? Aw, hopefully soon. I'm going to make him do video with me, whether he likes it or not. If not, I'm just going to start doing videos of him. He knows it. I keep telling him I'm like, I just need a boyfriend for TikToks, because I want to do TikToks, but he won't do them with me. And I think he would be the best. Jay Weston Logston, thank you. Okay, so we did go over that on the live. It was probably on Tuesday or Wednesday that we went over it. Wow. Remember, Ellie wanted to talk to the occupants of the Elantra. That infers that they know that there was more than one perp. Yeah, maybe. Or they They thought maybe there was 2 people in the car. They didn't know how many people were in the car. Yeah, maybe they didn't get a good view of how many people were in the car. That's a lot of fentanyl, though. I still can't get over that. I'm like, whoa, lady. Oh, they're only $2 a piece? Is that what you're saying? For fentanyl? I don't know. I haven't bought any fentanyl lately off the streets, you know. I'm just kidding. Never bought it, but you know. That I've been normally usually you can Google. I hope nobody, if I ever like, you know, if something ever happens to me, y'all make sure that someone like tells the cops if they ever look at my computer that I'm not a crazy person. That's like, because I do the craziest searches on this computer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, how much is street value is 70,000 pieces of pills, like fentanyl pills, and it's like the cops will be kicking in my door tomorrow. You had someone. Okay, I'm going to tell you a bad story about me. This is good, and don't nobody judge, because I was in some pain that I'm not saying nobody, not a lot of people will ever experience in their lifetime. And I'm adding this, and even though I don't have children, I'm adding childbirth into this, and don't come for me. I'm only saying childbirth because childbirth, your body is supposed to have a baby. That is natural. That is part of the thing. That's part of life. As a person, that's part of life. Having your body wrapped around a tree with a 400-pound engine on you for 2.5 hours is not, on the other hand, how your body's supposed to be. And it's not supposed to be put back together with metal. I don't care who tells that it's okay to do, because I'm sure it's okay to do, but it wasn't meant to be. So I was on the fentanyl patches, and they were not doing nothing for me. Literally nothing. So you put it on, you would take the patch, and you open the patch, and you would take there's like pieces of cellophane or something on it, and you would put the patch on you, and then take it like kind of like a Band-Aid, taking a Band-Aid off of the strip. You don't want to touch it with your fingers, they would say, because it could get into your skin that way and could really hurt you. Also, don't throw it in the trash, because your animals could get it and die from it. Well, one day I was in so much pain. I was sitting there in bed, and I was like screaming. I mean, it was bad. My legs were broken. I had metal rods shoved in my tibia bone. So I was in some pain, and the face metal, arm metal, legs metal. It was a lot of metal. So I looked at my mom straight in the eye, and I popped the patch in my mouth. I did it. And it didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing but pee me off. I was so mad. They ended up switching me back to after I did that, because I was like so mad. And I was very honest with people. Like I'm very honest with my doctors too. I was like, y'all have to put me back on something different, or I'm just going to do Advil. And so I think I just ended up doing Advil after that. And it actually worked better than the fentanyl. And I know that's weird, but it did. And so I was like, I hate it. I was I was in so much pain. Like, and when you're in that much pain, like you'll do anything for some relief. And I'm like, well, if this is on your body, I'm just going to lick this thing. And like, don't recommend it. Don't ever recommend that. But I did do that. And I was prescribed it and everything. But then they took me off of it, because I was like, this is not. I think there might be some that you can like put under your tongue. Maybe like a dissolvable one. I don't know. It's going to be fun going through airport. Oh no, I'm the best. I'm actually so fast at it. It's ridiculous, because my first time ever flying, I was so freaking terrified that I would go in the machine and I would light up and beep. And I'm terrified of that. Like of just like, even though I know I don't have anything illegal on me. If the machine goes off in my brain, all of a sudden I feel like I do have like illegal stuff on me. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So, but I don't beep. So I just go on in. I'm like, oh, you want me to do this? You want me to do that? Sometimes they'll want to pat me down. I noticed that one time. She was like, can I pat your back down? Which I have no metal in my back. Like that's one spot that didn't get hurt other than my ribs and, my lung. But I was just like in my spleen. So I guess it did get hurt there. Sorry. Huh? Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering, Teresa. It has to be some sort of fake fentanyl, because you all need to give your firstborn your left leg a pint of blood, and you need to make sure that you tell them what kind of blood you're giving them. to get some fentanyl out of the machine. I have been there. I know. That's why when you said someone died, I was like, oh my God. I didn't swallow it though. I took it back out. But that's why when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I did that. So I wanted to tell you guys my horror story because I don't keep stuff from people. But yeah, I know that's, ooh. But no, nurses, drugs are locked up like Fort Knox nowadays, which I think is really good because back in the day, there was a lot of nurses out there that were going behind the scenes, getting some drugs here and there, making themselves feel a little nice, what else? But they can't do that anymore. Like I remember when I was in the hospital, there was a guy on the 5th floor with me, and we were both taking the same pain medication. I needed 3 of them, I think, and he needed like 5. So the machine had 5 left in it, but because they had to refill it. So I got my medicine and he didn't because I was nice, they said, the nurses. They were like, you're nice to us, and he's really, really mean to us. Like I guess like he had like threw a chair at them at one point and was like very rude. And then when they walk into my room, I'm like, good morning, So they're like, yeah, we're picking and choosing who we're giving the drugs to this time. But they just had to bring them up from the other floor. But you have to like Teresa said, you have to like swipe your badge, put your fingerprint in. I mean, even the little carts that you guys push around with the computers on them. You can only have certain medications in those, and those things are locked up too. So, yes, please never chew any fentanyl patches. It doesn't do anything. It does nothing. And I will tell you, the fentanyl patches were actually working to some extent because of the fact I was sitting outside one night with my aunt, and it was during the day, and the sun was beating on me, and she noticed it. She was a nurse, and I went white, she said. She's like, Tanya, I think you were going to have a stroke. Like, because of the medication, you're not allowed to get really hot, things like that. So, yeah, they still meds, yeah. Oh, wow. I bet you did if you worked in medication management. Oh, wow. I'd be the worst. I worked in addiction, medication management. I said I'd be the worst. I'm like, I'd be the worst. I'm bad at like counting things like that. Tedious counting. I would be like, oh my God, did I give you an extra one? Who got an extra pill? Who got an extra one? Oh no. Oh yes. No, I've had the numbing drops. Because they pulled a stent out of my tear duct a couple weeks ago. And they're like, we're just going to, and like my boyfriend was like, you're fine. Like I came out and I was like, yeah, it looked like some weird stuff though. There are safeguards in place for that. Oh, okay. Because I'll be like, oh my God. Or I would be like, you need an extra one today. Buddy. Yes. Doctors need to educate. Okay, they must educate better, and they must educate better on, and not just that, but on mental health also. I believe all doctors should have to take classes in mental health to deal with anybody in the public ever, because they're bad at it. Most doctors that aren't in the mental health field, they're terrible at mental health guidance. I should take you on a doctor's trip with me one day. You guys would be like, are you kidding me? I'm working with a bunch of young guys, young peeps. It's because like I go to a university hospital where it's, they're teaching these kids how to become good doctors and stuff. And I want to be there to teach them. I've been doing this for 9 years, but after about 8, it's starting to get old. When you got 15 students in there with you, and you're already nervous about a procedure, and then you got 15 people looking at you. And then I like it when they say, do you want to try? And they give the tools to a student to try. And I'm like, no, we don't want the student to try. The student doesn't need to try anything. That scares me. Teresa, I would love for you to meet my nurse, though. I would have just went home with you. I would have just went down to Florida. Been in the pool. That's what I needed. Pool. Oh, but I had metal in I had, what are those things called? Pins in my foot. So I couldn't get in any water. Oh, there isn't any evidence of it being fentanyl? Oh, I wonder what it was then. I'm going to have to read over those other paperwork and get back to you guys on that too tomorrow. But we're 2 hours into this thing, guys. I didn't even realize we were in that long. Yeah, no, there's a lot of overdosing since fentanyls came around. And I think, do you think it could be like fake? I mean, how are they getting all this? I mean, I don't know how you make it though. Like, do they make it in other, I mean, and this might sound stupid, but do they make it in other countries and then they bring it over here? Like, is that how it's getting, like, cocaine happens a lot that way. Even marijuana, stuff like that. So yes, you are so right. You're so right. I've been telling myself for 9 years that I don't need anything for the pain. And your girl knows that she's lying to herself. But I'm also not good at taking stuff for pain either. I took a couple Advil before the live. Chronic pain is horrific. And it's an everyday occurrence. I'm one of those people though, I like to wait till it's like super, super bad. Where it's like you're dying, like you're going to the hospital now. And then I'm like, oh, I think I have a problem. I'm learning to listen to my body. That's what I'm trying to do as I'm getting older. Because, oh, wow. Last year, a man here killed his doctor, nurse, and other staff because of his pain doctor refused to write him any more meds or up his pain meds. Wow. And that's another thing too. Who knows their quality of pain? Because like my pain from a 1 to 10 is completely different than Vincent's pain from a 1 to 10. I'm going to have to. Teresa lives in Florida. She lives in the nice spots too. With the pretty sand. No. No, I did that. They did that. They tried to like flush out my tear duct and I screamed. It was the only time I think I've ever screamed in pain out of all of my pain. I'm really good at keeping it together. Like literally you could be torturing me and I'm not going to say anything. Like I'm one of those people and it's because I'm stubborn. Really. When it comes to like, I get stubborn, but it's chronic pain is just no joke. Well, hopefully everybody had a good Friday. It was a good Friday live. I have a lot more stuff to show you guys, but I'm just going to break it into a couple lives for you, for all of us. I do have that video coming out tomorrow. So if you guys see a video come out in the morning, it's not like a new Dylan. It's the Dylan video. It's the one that we saw tonight. I wanted to show it to you guys here first. And then I've been trying to break down the lives a little bit more. Oh, it's not regulated. The dose is off. That's what it is. Because I just see like big bags of it. So I'm like, how are they getting a huge bag of this? Are they making it or? Okay. Isabel, I know, mine does tell me that. She said a shot in your butt. The one good thing about having metal in my face, and I think my eye doctor thought I was crazy the other day when I said this, was they never had to cut me on my face or in my hairline or anything of that nature. They could just go in through the old eyeball. That's the only part about having an eye that's okay. I actually was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, Tanya, how does it feel having an eye for 9 years? I was talking to myself in the car. And I said, Tanya, it ain't too bad, but sometimes it really freaking sucks. I just had a little talk with myself, But oh no, fibromyalgia, that's just, I don't want to even go there, but I know how bad that feels. My every nerve in my body feels like it's on fire half the time. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I'm proud of me too. Sometimes you have to say that to yourself. You do. Sometimes you have to say you're proud of yourself and you worked hard, because I have to say that sometimes. Ooh. Hopefully, maybe Vincent will be on here. Have a good evening and have a good weekend. We'll be back on tomorrow if you want to hang. I heard that the spine injections, they never work. I've heard that. My mama told me that. So I don't know. She's the only person I guess I knew that got them, but she said that they didn't work. She had rheumatoid arthritis. Oh, yours helped you though? Ketamine infusions? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't think my mom did ketamine ones. But she used to do, these were back in, I mean, this was back forever ago. 20 years ago, maybe? No, not that long. Maybe. Almost. Oh, wow. Good thing you didn't lose your eye. I feel like it takes a lot to lose the eyeball though. Like, they can do a lot of stuff for your cornea and your everything, really. But the reason why I lost mine was because mine had gashes in it, like 2 to 3 millimeter gashes. So, infrared sleeping bag. Oh my gosh, that sounds pleasant. I'm gonna write that down. Infrared sleeping bag. Why do I feel? Or is that? Well, whatever it is, I need it. It sounds like it would massage you and give you warmness all at the same time. Menopause me? I hope not. Oh, you're talking about, okay. I'm like, hormones, what? But I did go to the doctor the other day. That's why I was like, how did you know about me? But no, I'm not going through menopause. I better not be. Anyway, not yet. Not yet. But it's coming up in a few years. Valentine's Day is coming up too. Does anybody have any good plans for the Valentine's Day? We don't usually do too much. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to tell you guys this. Okay, so if you guys like, this is nothing to do with true crime, but if you do like to, I know, so that's another thing, Teresa, I don't know how you have like the thyroid cancer and you're just like online, always doing cool stuff for our group. You're just like on it. So what I was going to tell you guys, so maybe this will help with feeling a little better today. Target, I don't know if you guys like to shop at Target, but your girl Tanya loves Target. I love it. I love Target so much. I would eat it if it was edible. So with that being said, Target is having a huge clearance sale right now on like all of their, and I'm not just saying like a little, I'm talking about like all of their beauty, like, and their like, hair care. You don't even get nothing on sale at Target. Nothing's even on sale at Target. This stuff is like clearance down. Shoot. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you. It'll be better. So, I went over to Target earlier today to pick up some stuff, and then I was like, Vincent, because like I saw like this huge like clearance wall, and I saw that they had like this, which is like the L'Oreal Revitalift moisturizer for clear. It was on clearance. It's originally like $30, $26, and it was on clearance for like $10. And I'm like, okay, that's like, I think it's all Target stores. Yeah. Like I could not believe it because my Target doesn't never run clearance. So you have to go on the back side. It's going to be on the back side on like it's going to be by aisle A. Just trust and believe they're all the same. I'm like so bad. I should work for Target, but and I've been to super Targets. I just love Target, but I got this. So I went to scan it. It was $10, like on clearance for $10. And I went to scan it because I was like, "Ooh, that's a good deal." It rang up for $5. So literally, and I mean, it's a big amount. It's like you get over, it's like 1.7. Yeah. 1.7 ounces. Got it for $4. We went back. Okay. So then I got this. These were the two things I came home with. Well, so I was going to come home with one of these and one of these. But then when they were, half the price of half the price of half the price that I thought they were going to be, I went and got two. So I have one of those. And then we went back. Happy Valentine's Day to me. So I got a straightener for like $16. That was originally like $40. I got a hair wand because mine is showing the wires. I got it. It was originally $70. I got it for $30. And then this other one that's age perfect. It's for more for daytime. Literally $4. I'm like, guys, y'all, that's a good deal. I did a TikTok on it on my TitaniumBuilt. So if you guys want to watch the TikTok, you can. But I'm just like, yeah, no, I did. I was like, I'm just going to get 2 of each because I'm a Clinique user and that stuff's expensive. So, and this stuff's expensive normally. It's the same price as Clinique. So when I saw that this was on for like the same, that was on for a good deal, I was like, your girl will use it. Oh, I hope you have a good night. I forgot to say bye to Crime Sleuth, and she seems like she's feeling better. So that's good. I haven't seen her for a while. I actually saw that she did a video today. She did a video. I did a video also on Michael Vaughn. We both did one on his mom. Brandy came out. They're not expired. That's what I thought too. They're not. I need to look up the dates, but the batch number, this one is expires 2 of 24. So we still got, so maybe that's why, because it's a year, but I can use this in a year. I can use 2 of these in a year. I don't know who came out with this saying, I think, and I think this is who it was. I think it was Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber's wife or whatever, or someone like that. But they came out with this saying that they want their skin to look like a glazed donut. Like they want you want to like have so much stuff on your face, like when you go to bed or just like in general, like, good like serums and stuff that you want to look like a glazed donut. So I've been walking around telling Vincent I want to look like a glazed donut. And he's like, you want to look shiny? I said, hey, I don't know. That's what the kids are saying. So that's what the kids are saying nowadays. I felt like I was like, this is a good deal. So I figured I would share my good find with you guys. I thought I had something else to tell you guys tonight, but I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. This stuff was actually this serum felt really good when I put it on. Actually, all of it felt really good. Because I want to try to not wear makeup anymore. How much that costs with surgery what occurs with surgery? Oh, really? Oh, people with red hair have a problem with anesthesia. Me too. And I do have a little bit of red in there. But see, that's what I need to hear. Because I don't have my mama to tell me. So I'm like on my own with this stuff, y'all. Because when you get older, that's when you go back and you ask your mom, like, hey, what happened to you? Or what's going on? Or, what's happening? Or what should I use on my face? Which my mom always told me growing up, wash your face twice a day. If you do nothing in life, Tanya, wash your face and put good moisturizer on. And don't forget your neck, because you can tell by your hand, and put the rest on your hands, because you can tell a lot about a lady by her neck and her hands. That's what my mom used to say. She was a very beautiful woman. We didn't look alike though, which is weird. Everyone thinks that we do, but I didn't think we did. Yeah, I have both of those too. I have both of them now. I just really some stuff makes my skin. I used to get the I can't ever say it. Or no, it was retinol, pure retinol A or whatever it was from my dermatologist. And that stuff, woohoo. Like it would make me break out. Shiny, happy people, B-52s. I didn't know they sang that. I used to love the B-52s. Are you talking about the B-52s, the band, right? Love Shack. Because I used to wake up extra early to watch that on TV. They used to only play, I don't know if you guys remember that back in the day. They only played like certain music videos during certain hours of the morning or night. When it was like later at night, you would hear more B-52 kind of playing, more that kind of, music that wasn't supposed to be in the mainstream, where it would be looked down upon, because this was back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. But I remember I used to think that was like, I was so bad for watching that video as a kid. I was so young. I don't remember. I mean, I'm 37 now. I was born in 85, so that's the math. I don't know when the song came out for sure, but I loved that song. I wish I would have listened when I was younger. I thought, oh yeah, no, I thought I was too cute. I didn't need to worry about my skin. Me, mm-hmm. And you know, if we could say that to people now, they would just look at us like we looked at them. The people that told us. I don't have bad skin, but I do get blotchy a little. So, and my mom got really splotchy when she got older, and she was never, okay, I lied. She was out in the sun as a kid. She said it's going to come back to haunt me someday. So I think that's probably maybe what it was. But I've noticed I'm getting a lot more freckles, a lot more darker spots, like on my hands even and stuff. And I don't like that. Maddie and Dylan had a fight. When? I'm like, and where did you go, Pamela, to get that information? You just came out of left field with that. That's funny. No, like they, I like it when they never take my blood to see if I'm on anything. They just give me a pee cup to make sure I'm not pregnant. And I'm like, I'm not. They're like, we're just going to make sure. And I'm like, okay. But let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's getting late. I think I'm going to jump off of here. Oh, I bet you he was cute. I had a little boy come in my store one time. Oh my God. And he had the cutest little curls and he was the cutest little baby. And I was like, I thought it was a little girl because the hair was just a mane. And I shouldn't have, but I did. And the face just, it was so perfect and beautiful. I said, look at her. She's so beautiful. And I said it I just said it and didn't think about it. And the lady was like, she's a he. And I was like, whoops. I said, well, he has the most beautiful head of hair I've ever seen in my life. He was still in like a stroller. If your kid is not wearing blue or pink and someone says that your kid is a different sex and they're like a baby, then you can't be hating on them for that. If there's no bow or something, because a lot of babies, all babies are so beautiful when they're that little. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But I am going to do a live tomorrow. I'm going to come on. I have some Nancy Grace episodes I wanted to show you over the Idaho 4. She has like some just like over his unsettling behavior and she cracks me up. We actually have, I never knew this about Nancy Grace. Apparently she doesn't like to spend any money on anything. She's very tight with her money, it seems like. She was very proud of herself for buying a $3 Starbucks coffee because she wanted to be cool like her kids. And I thought that was really cute. So we'll watch that tomorrow. I am going to go through these court documents to see what they all say. But I think that we all know that they're just telling the Gonzalez family to be quiet. But no, I want to go over them, make sure I get them all correct. And I will see you guys all tomorrow morning. Have a good evening. If I can't sleep, I'll be back on. Hopefully Vincent's not out there sleeping. Sometimes he is. I'm hungry, though. And he does like to make me food. He doesn't like it. He doesn't. Isabel, I know. I knew it was going to be late for you tonight. Okay, well, I might do another late one tomorrow, but you don't have to be here if you can't be. And you can always watch it on replay because I know you are 5 hours ahead of me, girl. But you guys have a great night. And thank you guys so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I do appreciate it. When you guys are leaving the chat, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And then don't forget to check to make sure all notifications are set on. I did release like 10 or 11 videos. Okay, it'll be 11 by tomorrow morning. So y'all have a lot of videos to watch. Like a lot of pre-recordeds. I did a bunch. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And have a good evening, guys.